So one of my subscribers asked me, how do I make how to make guys chase without playing games, right? Because a big, in this channel, I do talk about how to attract a guy with strategies, right? But usually those intricate strategies aren't really strategies that I tell people to do. They're just strategies for when people are just hard-headed and they're cabezaduras and they don't want to get the point that the person doesn't like them, right? So then I teach them these strategies, these tactics, these games, so that they could, with their eyes, see that yes, they do like you. You could get them to chase, but the truth of the matter is that those strategies, they get superficial results. Because if somebody likes you, you don't have to apply these games. And if you do have to apply these games, it's because you fucked up somehow. You were too needy, and so for a moment, you made them you made them need space from you. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like when your parents are too overbearing and you need space and they don't give it to you. But then your parents all of a sudden realize they need to give you space, and so they give you space, and all of a sudden you're calm and now you talk to them. That space is a strategy. But if your parents would have not been so overbearing, which is what I actually teach, then you would have not had to apply space. Because these strategies are really meant to help men and women, because it goes with both sexes, not take you for granted. Like it all comes down to that. It's not letting people take you for granted. And so you give them that space so that they don't take you for granted, right? So with that being said, these strategies are like, the things I teach are games per se, but they're not really. The thing is that I get more specific and more detailed when people just want it under every circumstance, and so then I'll be like, so for example, if you get coached by me, which you can purchase in the description down below, one-on-one coaching, I actually have monthly coaching, which is coach in the pocket. For $2,500 a month, you can have me 24/7 on the phone, like 24/7, right? So if you're going through a situation and you feel like you need someone to be there for you, hold you by the hand, to give you advice in the moment, right? Then that's like the perfect one for you. Or you go work with me one-on-one. All of those sessions are private, right? So click on the description down below to purchase, to get access to Coach in the Pocket. When I coach clients, they'll tell me these stories, and I can tell they want me. For example, they were like, yeah, my boyfriend cheated on me with my sister, but he's a nice guy, he's a great guy. And I'm like, oh shit. In my mind, I'm like, okay, now they're starting to sugarcoat the person. Or a guy will call me and she's like, I'm dating a girl, and like, it's not Tyrone. Dating a girl, yeah, she stopped calling me, she stopped hitting me up, but she fucking winked at me the other day. So how do I know if she likes me? How do I make her like me? And I'm like, okay, this guy really he wants to hear what he wants to hear. So what I usually do is I tell them, leave. But then the other advice that I say is the toxic shit. I'm like, look, you gotta leave, but if you're being hard-headed, then this is what you gotta do. Boom, right? But I always tell them, the results you're gonna get are gonna be temporary. They're gonna be temporary because all you're gonna be doing is hurting their ego, and once they recover, they're gonna leave you. Or you're gonna continue the relationship with these types of games, and I don't think you want that. But let's talk about how to actually make somebody chase without playing games. And don't forget, we're having a seminar in New York City, in London, at the end of the year. Click on the description down below to purchase tickets. It's about nonverbal communication, how to communicate value non-verbally. It's really gonna be fun, and how to stop sending weaknesses through your nonverbal cues. You guys can purchase tickets online to attend via Zoom or in person. It's gonna be at the end of July in London, right? And don't forget, pre-order my course, The Emotional Mastery. It's a 6 to 8 week course about mindfulness, how to apply mindfulness and presence into your life in order to improve your social life, to improve your emotional life, to improve your dating life, to improve just every aspect of life. In fact, the more you meditate, the less sleep you'll need. So all you workaholics out there, you guys want to check that course out. Look, the point of it is to not play games at the end of the day, right? Is to have standards and stick to it. Know what you will and will not accept. If you just, it's all about just having those boundaries. Boundaries is a sign of high self-esteem, plain and simple. And if you have healthy boundaries, and you stick to those healthy boundaries, you're not gonna have to play games, because the people who like you will stay, and the people who won't like you will not want to respect those boundaries. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Some people will not want to respect your boundaries. And what that says is not that the strategy didn't work. It's just that they don't value you. That's what that means. They don't value you. But if you hold your standards, if you hold your boundaries, and they respect it, it means they like you. It means they value you. Plain and simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. You know, I had a girl cancel on me twice, right? And twice in a row before meeting her. And I felt generous. So I was like, you know what, let's give it another try. But I had to cancel that day, actually. It wasn't even a game, people. I had to come to the retreat. Literally had to come to the retreat. Silent retreat. And she was like, oh, hell no, motherfucker, don't you ever do that to me. I'm like, did you just cancel twice on me, bitch? Like, what are you... And she was like, no, you're not gonna do that to me. I'm like, but didn't you just do that? And she blocked me. I'm like, oh my God, holy fuck. Some people, it's crazy. Like, some people are legit crazy. It's like rules for me, rules for thee, but not for me, right? Have those boundaries. So how do you develop those boundaries? Just think in your life, right? What are the things in your life that you found disrespectful? That in hindsight, you say, you know what, it was disrespectful, but it's not worthy of leaving them, right? Everyone has that. And then find out what are the things that you will not accept. It's like a job, right? With policies. There's a 3-strike rule. That they have clear policies. You do this, you get this much suspension. You do this, this happens. They have a moral clause. If you're late 3 times, you're fired, and etc. Right? And so, what you want to do is in fact write those things down. What are the things you will or will not accept? And for everyone, it's an individual thing. For example, if a girl screamed, one time I had a girl, like, she threw her phone at me, and she was playing around, but she threw her phone in my face. She thought that was a fucking joke. And when she did that, I was like, what the hell is your problem? Don't you ever do that to me ever again. Don't you ever do that to me ever again. She's like, oh, my fault. I'm like, I don't know who you date, but don't ever throw that to me again. And I got cold with her. It took, and for me, when I get mad, it takes me a few hours, or even a few days to get over it. I was like, you know what? It's best that you leave, and let's just talk another time. And she left, and she felt contrite. You know, she felt sad. She was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And it wasn't a game. I wasn't playing. I wasn't applying a strategy. I had my boundaries, and you were being very disrespectful for doing that. It wasn't a game. But after that, she was really docile. She was really nice. Like she cooked me dinner afterwards, right? And then she threw the fucking thing. And then she fucking, and then I don't know what happened. She drank one time, and then she fucking hit me in the chest. I was like, you. I didn't say anything. I was like, get out. And I started recording the audio of the conversation because I'm like, this bitch might be psycho. I recorded it. I was like, look, you know what? You hit my chest. You play too much. Get out. I don't accept that kind of stuff. It was like the second date. I'm like, what are you doing? You know? Or I had another girl or even friends. Or I had a girl who she was always late to the date. Always late. And I had to complain to her. I was like, look, man, I don't want to be complaining to you to be on time. Next time you're late, don't even come. Right? And she did that. We in the first few, it was like the second and third and fourth day she was late on. After the fourth date, but she was like 30 minutes late, you know. And after the fourth day, I was like, look, if you're gonna be late, don't come. And from then on, she was on time, right? So it's hard for me to tell you what those standards are, right? It's for each individual. For example, some standards is never accept somebody hitting you or punching you or calling you names or making fun of you in front of your friends, right? Embarrassing you publicly, none of that kind of stuff. Talking about your relationships, secret things in your relationships with your friends, like those types of boundaries, right? Other boundaries is like, for example, like I don't know, like I can't tell you guys what those things are, but you guys have to maintain it. You guys have to know what they are, and if they cross those boundaries, you guys have to make sure that you actually follow through, right? You can't just say you have boundaries and when they disrespect you, not follow through, because people will test you. And if you're bluffing, people could tell you're bluffing sometimes, because in your nonverbal cues, they could tell. Right? They'll give you like that. You'll give them that. If you do that again, I'm gonna leave. Like, who the fuck is gonna believe that? And parents do that a lot, right? And kids could tell. So it's kind of like you got to learn to develop an assertive energy. This pretty much comes down to being assertive in a relaxed way, right? And if you want to learn how to become more assertive, you could purchase my course, Nice Girl, Nice Guy, or check out the bundle that I'm selling right now in the description down below. Let's go to a quick commercial break.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't purchased any of my courses, we have a special bundle deal for everyone. So that you could purchase all of my courses, meaning you could purchase the Psychological Game of Attraction, Natural Chemistry, and Nice Girl, along with all of the bonuses. Originally, if you purchase everything without the bundle, it'll be around $500, to be honest with you. But right now, if you guys purchase it, with the bundle, you guys will be able to get all of these courses: Psychological Game of Attraction, which is for women who are single; Natural Chemistry, which is for women who are in a relationship; Nice Girl, which is a course on assertiveness, along with all of the bonuses: Social Mastery, Practical Mastery in terms of how to master anything; Social Mastery in terms of how to master your social skills; and The Laws of Human Nature, wherein it's part of the Robert Greene book club I used to have. All of these, naturally, like I said, it's $500. Now you get it at $394, which is essentially 20% off everything. But if you guys want to purchase a more affordable bundle, you guys can purchase the bundle without the bonuses, and that will be at $224 rather than the $300. Well, rather than the $293 that you guys would naturally purchase it. So you could purchase it with the bundle or without the bundle. You could purchase it with the bonuses or without the bonuses. It's all of the work that I put in the last 4 years, in the last 5 years, actually, all of the research that I've done. And this course, rather than watching all of my videos, and because they could be random and you could sort of like lose the big picture because there's just so many videos, you guys get all of the content condensed in a course. Trust me, people, if you guys purchase this, you won't regret it. If you haven't purchased it, hopefully this will push you towards it, because it's something that I believe in, and everyone who's purchased my course have been satisfied with it. And if they didn't like it, I always give their money back. I have never rejected a refund. All right. So purchase it right now. Click on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle, and I'll see you guys inside.
Now look, this is the thing, is that you can't be in a scarcity mindset, right? You can't be, if you don't have options, or if you feel like you don't have options, or if you feel like you need a relationship right now, that you feel desperate, you're not going to have those standards, you know? Like, it's almost like having a job, applying for a job, and you're so desperate for the job that they say, are you willing to work late nights? You're like, yes. Are you willing to come anytime that I want? Yes. Are you willing to suck dick? Yes. Are you willing to be on your knees? Yes. Because you're so desperate for that job, you say yes to everything. You cannot be in that type of scarcity mindset. You have to develop an abundance mindset by developing by becoming your own source of positive emotions, and you develop that through meditation, right? But we're going to talk about that later on. But you have to have options. You have to be continually meeting people or become enlightened. I mean, I'm not even kidding around, right? like you got to have, like, the superficial way to do it is to have a lot of options, right? And so the way to have a lot of options is to meet as many people as possible. And if you're alone all the time, you're not socializing, and you don't meet people, then you're going to feel desperate, and you're going to make bad decisions from a place of being desperate. You know, you're going to settle. You know, and it's much better, honestly, that if you're looking for someone, stay off of social media, don't do online dating, and just meet people in real life. Meeting people in real life increases the likelihood you're going to meet someone better, right? And also, meeting people through your friends is way better than meeting people through online. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you can't be in a desperate state of wanting a relationship right now. And if you feel that desperate state, then you need to calm the hell down. Because when you have these types of standards, it'll marinate your nonverbal cues. Your nonverbal cues is going to give away your high self-esteem. Your nonverbal cues, you being willing to walk away, will show in your face. Just like anxiety, you can see anxiety in the face. Just like desperateness, you can see in the face. You can also see confidence and willingness to walk away in the face. And that creates an attractive aura that actually makes people gravitate towards you. So let's continue talking about this.
Okay, so how do you develop the emotional strength to be able to stand up for yourself, right? One, you develop emotional stability through meditation, right? The more you meditate, the stronger you are in applying these strategies. And one of the ways that you guys can do is just practice meditation on a daily basis. If you struggle meditating, because what meditation would do is it'll decrease the intensity of emotions, which is your fear of confrontation, and it'll decrease the length of that fear. So it'll decrease the intensity, and it'll decrease how long you feel those emotions. So something you want to do is have a 5-minute meditation practice. Every day you meditate for 5 minutes in the morning or at night, just to get a taste. After a few weeks of doing that, you'll notice that you're more relaxed, but that's not enough. You're only scratching the surface of the benefits of meditation. Other things that you guys can do is actually the best way to do it is, one, do it in a group. In a group, humans are social animals. When you do things in a group, you start acting out of character in a positive and a negative way. In a negative way, you might do drugs. In a positive way, you might meditate for longer periods of time, right? So something that you could do is join an ashram, join a meditation center where they meditate for like an hour or so. Go to a Buddhist temple where they meditate. When you meditate with people, you meditate longer, or go to a meditation retreat. It'll increase your capacity of meditation. For example, the first time I went to a 3-hour meditation session at a Zen Buddhist temple, I meditated for like 2.5 hours, not 3 hours, but 2.5 hours. And before that, I remember I could meditate for like 20 minutes and I have a problem. And you know, it was decent, but I couldn't go any longer than that without struggling. After that 3-hour meditation, I was able to meditate for like 35, 40 minutes without a problem. I stopped going, and then I went back to like 25 minutes. But the point is, my capacity to meditate increased, right? So going to meditation sessions with groups of people, or yoga, which is a meditation, will increase your capacity to meditate. If you struggle meditating for a long time, you could just meditate for 5 minutes. Don't put a timer. Don't put an alarm. Put a timer, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and see if you see 5 minutes. Okay, can I do another 5 minutes? And if you can do another 5 minutes, do it another 5 minutes. And if you're tired, walk in a meditative way for 5 minutes, and that is meditation. Go back another 5 minutes, and just keep switching. Meditate standing, meditate sitting, meditate laying back. You keep switching it up to keep it entertaining, right? You walk. You even take a 5-minute break, and then you go back for another minute. But the point is, you want to increase your capacity to meditate, because the longer you meditate, the deeper the benefits, right? So increase your capacity to meditate will increase your capacity to deal with intense emotion, because what you're really doing is you're controlling your emotions. What used to stress you out, which is like a 20-minute meditation, now doesn't stress you out. What's really happening on the inside is that now your body is learning how to handle stress. That's all that's really happening. Or another way to be able to gain the emotional strength is just to develop compassion. Being able to understand the suffering of people, being able to have compassion and feel the suffering of the world, exposing yourself to helping people who are in trouble, and feeling the compassion will actually increase your capacity to handle strong emotions. Literally, the Buddha even said that, right? When the Buddha saw the suffering, because he was a rich kid, when he saw the suffering, he gained an intense desire to become more enlightened. Seeing suffering and feeling the suffering of other people increases your capacity to feel and actually deal with suffering in a positive way, right? So what you guys can do is, when you meditate, tell people in your life that you love them in your mind. Feel love for them. Imagine all of the people who are hurting in the world and feel immense compassion. You know that commercial, "In the eyes of the angel." Imagine that you're in that fucking commercial, that guilt trip. Imagine that. By you increasing your capacity for compassion, it'll increase your capacity to deal with pain. It's plain and simple. In fact, it'll also decrease cravings. It'll also decrease addictions. Because by you feeling compassion for other people, you hence feel more self-love. And sometimes self-love is the most healing thing you could do for yourself and others, right? And that's how you do it. Look, man, these strategies are at the core of it, is all about having boundaries and standards. If you keep your standards, the guys who like you will chase. The guys who don't like you won't chase. It's like that girl yesterday from Udia, whatever her name is, from Fyodor Dostoevsky, the book. If you guys saw the last video, right, where she was poor, but the man was treating her like a piece of meat. she needed him, and he was trying to use his money to manipulate her to have leverage. But because she had a healthy sense of pride, she has standards. She said, you're not gonna treat me like a piece of meat. Even though I need your money, even though the family needs you, I have too much pride to stay with you. Sometimes having pride, sometimes having self-esteem, just pride is enough for you to make people chase. But the point is that when you make that decision, you got to make sure you follow through, or else you're gonna look like an idiot. And if you do that kind of stuff, and you say you're gonna leave and you don't leave, don't tell people you watch my channel, okay? Tell people you watch someone else's channel. I don't know. Anyways, if this video made any sense to you guys, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, people. A lot of you guys are watching this video and you guys are not subscribed. You guys do not want me to close the channel, all right? Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Attend my seminar in London. Purchase my courses. Seriously, like, look, these courses, I put a lot of thought into it. And honestly, a lot of these courses are meant to help me pay tuition, right? So, because I go to school for art, and after that, I'm gonna get my master's degree in psychology. Maybe go to Europe for that, or I don't know. But the point is, I use that money to learn more, so I can teach you guys more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just spend it willy-nilly, you know. And hopefully, the quality of my videos reflects that reality. You know. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. I'll see you guys next time.